Welcome back to Josiah Plays Deus Ex Human Revolution for the last time. So this will be the final video. What a great game. God, everything's so awesome in this game. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to run the first one again. Let the credits play out.
If you do this, the world will be left with questions and may never reach a consensus. Are you sure this is your choice?
Yeah, I'm sure. This is my choice.
Left, Adam. And might I say, it has been a pleasure.
This is the choice to leave it in the hands of the world, rather than all these schemers.
Do I trust mankind to save itself?
I do.
That's what Eliza was asking. The truth is, I don't know. After everything I've seen, all the fighting and the chaos around me, I only know what I want to believe. Somehow, human decency will triumph. These past few months, I've faced many life-threatening situations. I could have given up many times, but my need to know the truth, to uncover the secrets that others were hiding, and to survive, forced me to keep on going. Most of the time, I tried to keep my values in mind, knowing my actions did not have to harm others. I held on to my humanity, resisting the urge to abuse power or resources in order to meet my goals. And in the end, I got the job done. But does this mean I have the right to choose for everyone? No. Because it isn't up to me. It isn't up to Darrow, Sarif, or Taggart either. Ordinary men and women will have to decide together what course mankind should take. The kind of people who time and time again have picked and chosen the future in highly practical ways, slowing change when it's negative, speeding it up when it's good. Can they do it again? I don't know. But I do know I'm not about to let anyone in this station, myself included, stand in their way.
That was beautiful. So, this has been Deus Ex Human Revolution. I thought it was an incredible game. Really, even better than I thought it would be. My playthrough was very long, as you saw. Around 100 hours, I think. Obviously, the game didn't have to take that long, but I was very thorough in searching everything. Doing a lot of things I didn't need to do just for fun, just to challenge myself, just to see what would happen. Just to be as obsessive with collecting everything as possible, you know. The actual gameplay was, for the most part, very good, very cool. I mean, it wasn't a perfect game. There were times when it got a little bit repetitive and bogged down and slow, but not to a negative extent. I mean, I was always having fun. I enjoyed all 100 hours of this. From a gameplay perspective, I really liked the ability to choose how I wanted to do things, to choose how I wanted to handle the objectives and who I wanted Adam to be. You know, the ability to go through and not kill people, to sneak past, to find information and use the computers to deal with things, or use stealth to deal with things, or use the social. I loved the social aspect, the way you could talk to people and convince them. And even the social augmentation really added an extra element of depth and interestingness to that. So as far as the gameplay, the level designs were almost all really cool, with lots of paths around, places to hide, places to sneak around, hidden areas to find, and little pathways that you could find that would allow you to bypass things or get into areas multiple different ways, depending on what augmentations you had or wanted to use, depending on whether you wanted to get in a fight or avoid a fight. Lots of hidden stuff to find as far as the lore stuff. I mean, so many books and emails and pocket secretaries with so much story. There wasn't a ton of dialogue. I would say, as far as the actual fleshing out of the characters and the talking to people, the talking to the characters aspect, that was sort of light in this game for an RPG. But there was so much to read and find to flesh out the story that way that it sort of made up for it. I love this game. I loved it. Definitely going to be one of my favorite games of all time. As far as the story goes and the ending, super impressive. The writing in this game was phenomenal. I would say this was the second best written game overall that I've played after Planescape Torment, which I think is the masterpiece of games. I mean, but God, the music, really good in this game. The voice acting, great. Very happy with Adam's voice actor, and, you know, virtually all the other characters I thought were voice acted, if not completely acceptably, to really well. But the writing was amazing. The writing of all the things you found to read, as well as the writing of the actual narrative, super good. A very deep story. I mean, you could rush through this game and not get most of the stuff and not see most of the story that I saw, and maybe it wouldn't seem as impressive, or maybe it would. Maybe you'd still pick up the high points and it would still seem really cool, but really digging into it, there's just so much to the story of this game. So much going on, and things to uncover, and things to think about. The game really made me think, you know. There was a lot of philosophical implications to this game. Again, not quite as much as my favorite game of all time, Planescape Torment, which that was the thing I liked about it most, was the depth and the amount of, like, philosophy that it made you think about, you know. But this game had a lot of that too, and set in a very cool setting. Everything looked awesome. I mean, the actual graphics per se, like technically speaking, were not mind-blowing by any stretch of the imagination, but they were perfectly functional. They weren't bad, and they didn't detract from anything. The art style and the aesthetic choices that were made, as far as the symbolism and the way they used color and light and the design of things aesthetically to support the themes of the game and the feel of the game and the narrative, really well done. I mean, this game was a work of art. Artistically, in terms of like I said, the aesthetic design, the art design, the music, and the writing, and the way all of that synthesized together to create a certain feel and a certain narrative, amazing. Extremely well done. Much better than most games that come out nowadays, or most games I've played. It just never felt cheap or lazy, or it just never felt like they didn't think about something, or they just sort of threw some generic thing in there to make the game. It felt like everything was handcrafted to a purpose, to all come together to make this game what it was, and to support the central themes and the central narrative, and to tell the story. And all of the gameplay really fit with that too. I really liked the characters, although, like I say, that is, I think, if anything could be called a weakness of this game from a story or RPG standpoint, it would be that there wasn't a gigantic amount of character development or character-to-character interaction. There wasn't a huge amount of dialogue and getting really into developing your relationships with the other characters and developing the backstory of everyone and having a lot of that kind of stuff. I mean, that's just not what this game was about. And so there certainly could have been more of that sort of thing, and I would have liked it. But I don't think that it's a weakness. I wouldn't call it a flaw. I wouldn't say that it takes away from the quality of the game, because again, that's not what this story was really about. But if I had to pick something that I would say as far as pure RPG elements, like the things I love about RPGs, what they could have done more of, they could have done more dialogue, more character-to-character talking, and getting into telling more of the story that way. But what there was really good. I loved the social encounters where you had to convince someone. Those were awesome, and there were a lot of them, and they all felt really cool. Those could have been longer too. Those all seemed a little on the short side. I mean, you sort of convinced people pretty quickly and easily. There could have been a little more to those conversations again, but certainly there was enough. It was enough, and it was really well done. The writing, there was tons of writing, tons of stuff to read and find and dig more into the science, both the real science and the invented fictional science for the game. The world, I mean, all the stuff about the politics of what was going on, the different corporations and the details about them. I mean, they really put a lot of thought and work and really good writing into describing this world, this setting. I mean, it brought me into it. It was immersive, and it was cool. It was just cool. I mean, I love the cyberpunk genre, like I said in the beginning. I love the Shadowrun, cyberpunk, you know, Neil Stephenson, William Gibson, Blade Runner, The Matrix, all that kind of stuff with the cyberware and the mega corporations and the sort of breaking down of traditional governments and the conspiracy stuff and the transhumanism and the you know, augmentations and the sort of semi-futuristic settings, you know, super urban, all that stuff is really cool, and it was really well presented and to a lot of detail and depth in this game. I mean, this did not feel like a tacked on, like, it didn't feel like they just, you know, brushed a light dusting of a cyberpunk feel over a generic game. It felt like everything was just fleshed out and it was there, and they had thought about it, and they had done stuff to make you feel it, from the music to the writing to all the details of the backgrounds and the levels and the places you went to, the designs. And what do we have here? We have a little...
You worry too much, Morgan. There's nothing we can't manage given time. She's here. I have to cut this short. Keep going through the wreckage. Maybe we'll find something we can use for the Morpheus initiative. Come in.
Ooh, what is this?
Dr. Reed. We're so pleased you decided to join us.
Where else could I go?
No regrets, my dear. As Ariadne told Theseus before he entered the Minotaur's labyrinth, always forward, never left or right. You'll be very interested in our current project. We're breaking new ground.
Ooh. Yes, the nanite virus chimera is quite intriguing. I'm looking forward to seeing the hybrid project up close, Mr. Page.
And so you shall. But please...
Wow.
Call me Bob.
Ominous. So they're setting up stuff for DLC, for sequels, for whatever. The story, the plot thickens there at the very end. That's kind of cool. I was hoping there'd be a little something after the credits. That was intriguing. Okay, so I loved this game, in short. I thought it was great. And the ending was beautiful. Those montages at the end, and the music, and the voiceover, Adam's voiceover for all of them at the end was really cool. And this is super loud right now. But that's it. That's it for this playthrough. I'm yelling over this because it's so loud, but thank you for watching. Josiah plays Deus Ex, Human Revolution. I hope you enjoyed it.